Hello wonderful people, welcome back to C# Hub's tutorial on classes. This is the second video of a series that deals with the importance and the use of classes in C#. Previous video, to which I will leave a link in the comments below by the way, we created our very first C# class called person. In today's episode we will build on that, so if you haven't watched it already, do so now and come back to this video later. That way you will have a much better understanding of this video. With that being said, today we will deal with inheritance in classes and also touch the subject of overriding already existing methods. And I'm going to tell you why these are very useful and time-saving techniques in object-oriented programming. So, we are going to use our class that is called person that we made in the last video, and we are going to modify it. In fact, we are going to make a new class that is going to show inheritance and it's going to show us how to override methods. This is good because it complies with the derive principle, which is don't repeat yourself. We already have a class, we are going to use it for our new purposes. So the new class is a public class, it's called employee, and this is how we show that it's going to inherit from the person class. Okay, a couple of lines down there, and so this class is going to have some additional fields while having all the fields of the person class. Okay, one field is going to be a string and it will be the employee ID. And here's a getter and a setter. We just don't really elaborate on that. It will be what the program brings it up. And the other one is going to be the employee's position. Good. And there's the getter, there's the setter. Now we will also need a constructor for this class. And it will have all the fields that the old class and the new class has. So it will have a string for first name, and then a string for last name, and you see how IntelliSense brings up all the already existing fields. So we just add our own, which is going to be an employee ID, which is a string, and also a string which will be for holding position information. And here's the trick. We can name part of this a base. And you see how Visual Studio already offers that the initially existing fields are going to be the base, and we accept it because that's what we are going to use. So we now only have to define what our new fields are. So the employee ID is going to be the lowercase starting employee ID, and the position is going to be the lowercase position. And basically we are done with our constructor for the employee class. Okay, let me make some more room here. Now we are going to override one of the methods. Let's start with the display full name method that we have already written in the original class, the person class from which we inherit in this class. And basically we are going to say public override, and it's not a string returning method, it's a void one. So it's public override void, and we are going to write the original name of the method. So it's display full name, and we are going to rewrite it to our heart's satisfaction, which is going to be console. Oh, a quick thing, we need to add public virtual to the original so that it can be overwritten in an override. So here, and this is going to work this time, so it's also going to start with console write line, then the $sign, and we are going to say the employee name, and here between the curly brackets we are going to name the field which should be displayed, which is the first name. Then we add the space, and also between curly brackets, yes, last name, just as the auto suggest. Put it there, but we don't need anything else for this one. And then we move on to override the method that displays all the info about the person, or in this case about the employee that we have. So also public, here we state that it's an overriding, and void also, and the base which is referenced, we'll be using that later. Let's start with console, not override, but console write line. I'm just obsessed with overriding everything. And it also starts with a $sign, and then we are going to name the employee ID, and then curly brackets employee ID, and the position, which is curly brackets, and the name of the field is position, conveniently. And now we are going to use the base and dot the original display info. So this way we are using what we already have, so we don't repeat ourselves. And now all we have left is that in the original main we already used the two existing methods, and now we create an instance of the employee class, and it goes like this: employee, and then lowercase employee will equal a new employee, And here we give the data for the fields. So it's going to be first name, Jane. Then last name, let's say Smith. Then we are going to set her age, which is not really polite to write the age of a lady, but we are going to do that. Here comes the email, should be janesmith@company.com. And now we move on to the two new fields, and the first is a string, so we need the ticks, yes, and then a position. Let her be a software developer. With all that's done, we are going to use the two overridden methods. So first we display the full name with the new method. Then dot right, it's going to be employee dot display full name. Perfect. Then we are going to display the data that we have on this employee, so the full information. And we are going to use the new nice crispy overridden method, which is going to be exactly as it's predicted, employee.displayInfo. And now is the time to see if we have done everything right, and yes we have. So here comes nothing. We are going to run our little program and we'll see what happens. Perfect. I'm going to magnify this for you guys. So the original full name was John Doe, the name was John Doe and all the data, and here's the new method displays employee name and then the new name and all the other data that is known, which is now we have an employee ID and a position for her as well. So here it is, the inheritance and the overriding of methods in C#. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe because there's going to be some more, a significant amount of more information and more tutorials. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, it really helps us grow.